We good to go? Okay. Good morning. My name is KFlanagan. I'm here with Joey Byrne, co-founder of the RoomscapeU.com, which is an e-commerce website for college students to purchase all of their college needs. Joey, what drove you to start RoomScape?
Well, initially it was just because I've always had this great passion for starting things and being like, on top of the game and figuring out the next way I can make money. When I was a little kid, I always had lemonade stands just because I knew that I could get my allowance, what my parents gave me, and use it as an investment and create more. So that's why I initially started RuneScape, because I wanted something that when I left college, I wanted my resume to say something more than just, hey, I was at a bar every night. I wanted it to say, I created this company, I started it with this much, and it grew exponentially, and I was able to sell it, and I was able to pay my way through college. So that's initially why I started RoomScape U.
Well, that's really cool. What market did you first think, and then what market did you enter? Did you found your niche in?
Well, initially, the argument was with my co-founder was initially, did we want to target parents or the actual students themselves?
Uh-huh.
So we thought that, obviously the students, who are the ones that are mostly doing the online, always on Facebook, always on Twitter, always on these computers, they're always, they always have their attention grasped by this computer, by the internet, and they're the ones that we attack. So that was our initial push for marketing, was to mostly freshman college students, and at Florida State initially, and then we expanded to universities all across the country.
And what did you find most effective in broadening your scope, if you will?
Well, it was easier at Florida State, of course, because we were able to go to actual dormitories ourselves and put up a poster saying, RoomScape U, if you want, you don't need, you're one click away from everything you need, whether it's a trash can, food or anything of that. It was one click away, so we could actually attack the market ourselves. So then when we broadened our horizons to other schools, we weren't able to do the marketing. So we had to figure out a web-based marketing program or system to be able to attack all these new students that we are just creating, because we once we expanded, it wasn't just Florida State students.
Yes, I think that's awesome, actually. And I've never really thought of that idea of kind of like a one-stop shop all for a college student who really is kind of coasting through life. It's their first couple weeks, without mom and dad. They don't know what to buy. They don't know where to buy it. Why not have an e-commerce website like RoomScape U, where they can get everything all in one place?
From posters all the way down to like bedspreads of their schools. I mean, how awesome is that? That you can just, in one place, you can sit there and figure out get your entire room and never leave your dorm.
Now, what have you ran into any challenges on the logistics sides of things with providing the goods and services to your customers at such a small scale level of operation?
Yes, of course. It's been, that was the biggest issue, is that a company like Amazon, who has big warehouses that they're shipping this stuff to, and they're going to these places, whereas we have a very limited supply of the abilities to get stuff from here to Arizona State or to even Gainesville or something like that.
Yeah.
When it was in Tallahassee, it was very easy and it was much cheaper. But luckily, with just using the normal carriers such as UPS and FedEx, that the rates are cheap enough that we can still get our stuff around. And it might not be the cheapest, but also that's not really what my goal was. I wasn't expecting to create a FedEx or something, on Amazon. I was expecting to create something and then really sell it, just because I wanted the idea, and then I was hoping that I could sell my idea to an Amazon.
A bigger e-commerce website. Yeah. Now, so you've mentioned about past entrepreneurial endeavors, and this is obviously not your first, because you seem pretty adept in the knowledge of starting your own business and growing wealth, if you will. That's the great idea of the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
What are some things that you envisage for your company's future growth and success?
Well, Well, it would be great if we could somehow incorporate textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, that's a huge thing, and it's a huge moneymaker for all these universities that they do these books. You can rent them, you can buy them, you can resell them, and it's something that every college student needs. And we're trying to figure out how we can best give that to the students, as well as figure out how to make the most money on our own, and especially with the new push towards ebooks. That we've got to figure out some way that we can capitalize on the ebooks, but not overcharge these students. Because that's, at the end of the day, I know that when I'm a student, I don't want to be paying $150 for a book.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous that I would. So we got to figure out somehow to incorporate these ebooks and get a way that RuneScape U can be like the #1 ebook source.
Kind of like competing with Chegg.
Yeah, something like Chegg. Exactly.
But they don't sell furniture and posters.
Exactly.
And so you got to go to a different website. If you can stay on the same website, that's what I'm getting from you is stay on the same website. You got one cart that you're checking out on. Mm-hmm. And that's the kind of the business model that you guys are employing.
When you go into a Walmart and you go in for, one thing and you walk out and you're like, I have 8 things. Like, how did I do that? Kind of the Walmart effect is how Josh and I like to describe it. We like the Walmart effect, where you go for a poster and yet you end up paying for a poster, your bedspread, a new trash can with the FSU logo on it, something like that. So we kind of like the Walmart effect. Once we got you there, we've got things on the website that you will purchase.
That is really cool, and it's ingenious almost. It really is, and I look forward to seeing how this company does. What drives you to continue this endeavor?
Well, I would say my main drive is I love seeing kind of what I did at the end of the day. You have these finances that whether you took on a loan or whether you have investors, wherever your equity comes from, you have a certain amount, and then it just, to me, the drive is to see how I can turn that into more. And so that's always been me. When you're an entrepreneur, you're taking a huge risk, because most of the time it's either your money or it's an equity investor, or you're taking this loan out where it's on you, and now you've got to produce.
Yeah.
Especially if you have investors, you have to produce.
You have to show returns.
So that's what I mean. I was always a competitive person growing up, and so that's part of the competition, the drive to get this equity and create it into something else, and create it into big, and who knows where the sky's the limit, really.
That is very admirable. I've got some other questions for you, if you don't mind just me taking a couple more minutes of your time.
Of course, continue.
So, in hindsight, looking back before you started the company, are there some things that you wish you would have known then that you know now, or that you've run into and experienced now?
Yeah, I mean, just from a logistics standpoint. Whereas when me and Josh and I, started it, we were not expecting to take on this. I mean, we knew it was going to be this huge workload, but we didn't really foresee all the kinks in everything. With everything down to the ordering of the items to everything, we had to outsource so much technology that we ourselves didn't know, and it cost us a lot more than we thought we would. So I guess my regret would be doing a little bit more research into the actual technology and the outsourcing of technology, because maybe if we had hired somebody in-house and give them a salary and have them pay on salary, we would have been able to save money from every time we ran into a glitch. We had to outsource. So yeah. I guess that would be but yeah, I mean, it wasn't a totally bad thing, because then we don't have someone on salary that if it had run smoothly. So I guess maybe I would look at the grant, how much I can allocate towards fixing problems like this, and I would have relooked at the numbers before and really smoothed everything out before I started this venture, I guess. Yeah.
But wouldn't you agree that e-commerce is one of the cheapest entry points into any market?
Oh yeah, I mean it's easy just because you can do Google Pay for click ads. When you just pay for 100 clicks, so that you're the first when they Google something, that you're the first thing there. it's so cheap, and you get so many hits. Whereas if you're putting a billboard sign, or you're trying to do anything that's not really e-commerce based, it's much harder to get the word out. Whereas when you are in e-commerce, you can do that, and then they're already on the internet, so then they can just click the link and they're there, and hopefully get an item, and then get the Walmart effect, and you get three things, and next thing you know, you're hopefully running a successful business startup.
And I notice you keep mentioning this Walmart effect, people. We're going to touch on that. The Walmart effect, is that where you kind of got the idea for this e-commerce website? Were you walking through Walmart one day and you kind of thought to yourself,
Ian,
hey, I could streamline this
process? It was kind of a combination of that and Amazon, just because we knew, when we order stuff, we would realize the simplicity of ordering it through Amazon, because this is kind of one-stop shop.
Yes. But
also the same idea as the Walmart, that you're just going in and going in from 1 item to 7 items. So that was kind of our idea. I guess our how we sold it to the equity investors.
Yes. Well, that it's really cool meeting and talking to peer entrepreneurs is what I like to refer to you as, because that's what we're peers. We're both students at Florida State University, and one of us is running a successful e-commerce company, and one of us is learning how to do that. So I thank you for your time, and I thank you for speaking with me today. Thank you very much, Joey.
All right.
So that's all for us today, and Roomscape U. I hope you've learned a lot about the company. Go check it out, roomscapeu.com. You can find all of your college and dorm needs. Joey, if you have any ending thoughts or notes, please share.
Go Knowles, and always be willing to take that first step and just do it.
Yeah, it's awesome.